You were right all along, my gorgeous Taurus. You were right all along. January 2022 is going to be quite interesting month for you indeed, purely because the certain point is going to be proven to you. Something so important to you, something so significant to you, it's going to be proven to you. So you will know that this is a very important aspect of your life. This is a very important point in your life, because that in itself means that you're just going to have to kind of look at the things from a slightly different angle when it comes to every single part of your life, when it comes to every single aspect of your life. It's all about you trusting yourself forever, you trusting your intuition, you trusting your own power within, because this in itself is the most important time ever for you to do so. And what is actually going to be proven to you, it's going to be so personal in so many different ways, but most importantly, on one hand, it's going to be like, oh my God, it's just really bizarre, it's really strange, it's really unusual, it's really mysterious. But then on another hand, that in itself is also going to be a pretty much so an important part of your own power, an important part of your own existence, an important part of your own inspiration. When you feel inspired at this point, at this moment in time, it also means that this energy becomes absolutely miraculous for you, purely because you are listening to yourself, you're following your intuition, and you're only doing those things in your life that only make sense to you. This month is going to be sacred in so many different ways, because as the time goes by, there are a lot of things that are going to happening, there are a lot of things that are going to manifest, there are a lot of things that are going to be right in front of you, and you will kind of want to go for them. But I would say absolutely do not do that. Do not rush into anything. And the important thing to say here is that you will grow spiritually really a lot, and it means that there are going to be quite a few different stages where you are going to find out so much about yourself purely through the situations around you, and purely through you responding to things in your own unique way. So this is why you need to remember that there is a lot going to be going on throughout the actual month of January 2022. But also, this is a very sacred month where you're going to understand so much. And as soon as you kind of project your energy towards something, project your attention towards something, at that very moment in time, you need to understand that there is a lot gonna start happening within your subconscious mind. So that's why you just need to give it few days, within the next few days. Every single time when something happens around you, wait about few days, and within the next few days, there are other things that are gonna happen, there are other things that are gonna come up. And what about that? Well, it's going to make you so much more wiser. It's going to open your eyes, because this is going to be in direct contact with your subconscious mind, with your third psychic eye, with your pineal gland, which is going to be working pretty much so very sharply when it comes to the actual whole month of January 2022. So it's all about you finding yourself in front of the situation. You see, it's all about being in front of the situation, being part of the situation where you want to do something, you want to go for something, you feel so excited. But at the same time, just take about few more days, and you will see within these few days there is a lot that you're going to find out, a lot that you're going to become aware of, things that you must be aware of, things that you should be aware of, things that you really need to know at this moment in time when it comes to your spiritual journey. So by the time you get to the actual last part of January, last 11 days of January are going to be so important when it comes to your personal awakening, but in particular in terms of you seeing things that you didn't see before, and also most importantly seeing opportunity at around your personal situation that you didn't see before. And this is why I get so excited, and this is why the whole month is going to be a massive learning experience about yourself. No matter where you are, no matter what you do, no matter what you're thinking about, no matter what are you focusing on, this is what you need to know. And on one hand, this is a pretty much an important time for you, but then on another hand, what you also need to remember remember that January in itself, it's a very powerful month, very important month when it comes to us achieving so much more in our lives, because the vibration is going to be just right. The vibration is going to be just perfect. And even if it feels like all dark and weird and negative and blah, 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 it doesn't really matter. That same energy you can use and you can in turn to work for you in your favor. So the last 11 days of January are going to be absolutely superb, because it's the very big experience, like a spirituality that you're going to have by this moment in time. And this is why you must not rush with anything, you see, throughout the month of January, because the last 11 days are going to be like a big, huge, massive, enormous turning point for you, my gorgeous Taurinis, indeed. My name is Sasha Bonasin, and I'm a psychic medium, and this is your monthly horoscope tarot card reading, and it's for you, my gorgeous Taurus, and it's for January 2022. So this monthly horoscope tarot card reading is for you, my gorgeous Taurini, and it's for January 2022. The actual number which is going to be quite important for you, my gorgeous Taurus, is going to be 99. My lordy lord, you see this 99, the vibration is going to go much higher. You're going to feel much more powerful. You're going to get this confidence. You know what the confidence, which confidence I'm talking about? The confidence to do things that you want to do, the confidence to focus on those things that you want to focus on. Ignore the devilish energy out there at the moment as much as you possibly can, and you just need to remember to keep holding your own light. Do not give your own candle to somebody else. You are the one who lives this life. You are the one who needs to carry on your spiritual candle. So this is exactly what you need to do. You light up your own path. Nobody else must not do this for you. If somebody else takes your candle and try to light up your own path for you, you're not going to see where you're going. You will be going towards the path where that other person, devilish person perhaps, maybe want you to go. So this is something I need you to remember. And purely because of this powerful number 99, you see 99 red balloons, Taurus, Taurus, Taurini, Totorini, Totorin. Now number 99 is so important because, you know, this is all this vibration, powerful vibration. It's getting to the very interesting and very important and very unique point. So this is why naturally you're gonna feel like pretty much so very you will be drifting towards things that you want to drift towards. And sometimes, you know, you will find yourself throughout this month as well also wanting to explore certain things. You're going to be in this explorative mode indeed, and this is purely because you may not even understand this, you may not even recognize why, but it's this power of the number 99, because now soon it's 100, and 100 is a big mama, and this is why you will be benefiting from this powerful push as well. So pay attention to the ideas, pay attention to what is on your mind, pay attention to what's making you feel really excited, and most importantly, pay attention to what is persistently on your mind, because your spirit guides, your guardian angels, you know, the spirit world will want you to be aware of certain things as well. And now you're going to feel this much deeper on a much more kind of unique and interesting level. Just remember, you're using the vibration of number 99, which means that you're almost like a jumping towards the big numbers, number 100, and this is why you will find this energy is quite beneficial when it comes to your own turning point. So please just make sure you understand to kind of like really try to explore things that come to you out of the blue. There are a lot of things that you're gonna have that you will want to kind of be part of, explore, and you're gonna surprise yourself. Oh no, why didn't I do this for such a long time? Why didn't I do that for such a long time? So it is indeed an important month where you are gonna come back home to yourself, come back home to your strength, come back home to your power, and this in itself is going to give you a rather solid grounding indeed. And do not forget, my gorgeous Taurini, what I said at the beginning of this reading, that, you know, there's a huge, massive, enormous point going to be proven. You will be able to prove your point. This is going to be proven to you, and this is going to mean to you so much that you were right so along. So that in itself, it's really going to be so beneficial when it comes to you feeling even more courageous. You see, this is why this is so important. Number 99, it's also really trying to make you to pay attention to the actual your subconscious mind as much as you can, and your intuition, because your own intuition is going to be guiding you as well through the rather murky water with uncertainty. Okay, and this uncertainty, it's important, and murky waters are important because there are quite a lot of murky waters out there at the moment. You know what I mean? It's just like a devil is playing a long song right now. So it's nothing unusual when it comes to like going through the murky waters. It's just the energies that are affecting us. So this is completely natural. But then on another hand, you need to understand that there is a very big mystery, like literally mystery, going to become obvious to you. Some kind of mystery, you know, they're going to be that you will be able to understand. Not the whole thing, not the whole picture. It's rather deep. It's very deep, and it's nothing even to do with you or your life, but it's been affecting you for such a long time. So this is important because certain mystery is going to become obvious, and when that mystery becomes obvious, you know, that in itself, it's going to you need to remember at that moment in time not to worry or not to think negative or not to feeling low, because that in itself, it's absolutely not going to change anything. There is no point for this. Listen, I know I sound bit of a dark lallish at the moment, but then again, you must remember one thing, that if you find yourself like being low, being down and worrying because it's about this mystery, about something that doesn't absolutely make sense, but it also kind of opens your eyes and it makes you aware that there are all sorts of like a bit of like a devilish things going on at the moment. You know, there are devilish things going on in the world. What happens is that every now and then, like a devilish energy takes over until the good wins, until the positivity wins, until the goodness wins. So you have to like kind of make sure, like, you know, adjust yourself and to stay on the right path by doing only those things that make sense to you. So if you do feel worried, my gorgeous Taurinis, just remember that basically that same energy, it's actually going to be like your own blessing, because you will be worrying about the right thing, but at the same time that it's going to make you dig a little bit deeper, and that in itself, it's also going to create an absolutely enormous energy when it comes to you planning your next step. But when you're planning your next step in your life, you just need to do things that make sense to you, and do not necessarily choose the path only because it's easier. No, baby, no. You choose the path that you feel in your heart that you should be choosing. This is what you need to do right now. This is how you come on top of things. This is how you're gonna win. Okay, this is how you're gonna succeed. So this is important. When you feel the worrying energy, at the same time you just feel like a blessing because you're worrying about the right thing. But at the same time, that same energy is really powerful. So plan the next step when you feel worried. And you will see, like, you will surprise yourself, like, oh my God, I can't believe, like, all these ideas are coming to me. But this is the result of you directly working with your pineal gland and responding to it in the right way and doing things that make sense to you. If you're not doing things that make sense to you, then you're just going to have to come back at some moment in time, and you're just going to have to work on that specific part of your life until you learn your little lesson, baby. So this is what it needs to happen. On another hand, you know, I just want to remind you that, you know, this is going to be the great month when it comes to like your energy. It's an amazing month when you're going to kind of like feel very much so that you want to open up yourself. You know, this is a great month to talk, to express yourself as much as you possibly can. But I also need to make you, help you understand that, you know, when you feel very talkative, you need to pay attention to this. Is so important, because there are going to be few different stages where you're going to feel very talkative in January, and you need to understand that this is an important sign for you, that when you feel talkative, you are going to come out of yourself. When you come out of yourself, you're going to become keen and eager, and when you become keen and eager, you need to pay attention to what exactly you are becoming keen and eager about, because that in itself, it's actually going to start opening a new path for you. At the same time, when it's going to become absolutely obvious to you which part of your life you need to pay attention to. Ignore the devilish things, but which part of your life you need to pay attention to when it comes to your own devotion, when it comes to your own loyalty to yourself, because you can't help to other people unless you help to yourself. You can't make other people happy unless you're happy yourself. So this is something you need to remember. It's about your own devotion. devotion, but also it's about you offering kind of services and efforts towards something very specific. This is going to become quite evident, and this is something that you need to pay attention to, because it's most certainly going to bring you determination, very, very powerful initiative, strength, force. It's going to make you feel almost immediately active, but also on another hand, you're going to feel the power that you didn't feel in a long time, and that in itself is going to bring a rather deep and powerful deep emotional feeling, which is in itself going to be super important when it comes to you finding yourself on the spiritual quest, having another huge, massive, enormous big mama confirmation, and also just basically wanting more out of life, because it looks like you will have enough here, but in the best possible way. So you karmically came to an end with something, so this is going to be reflected through this particular situation. What else I was going to say, my gorgeous Taurine, is that this January 2022, ooh la la baby, over the last 10 to 11 months, it looks like you were blaming yourself for something, some kind of mistake that you kind of like maybe you thought that you made, or some kind of mistake that you made over the last, I would say like about 10 or 11 months, really, within the last 10 or 11 months. It's about the mistake that you've already made, and that in itself is going to bounce back, and it's just going to kind of remind you of some kind of family problem, and it's to do like with the people around you, maybe family matter. It's to do with like a people, family, people who are important to you, people who are significant to you. Maybe you've fallen out with someone, maybe you had a disagreement with someone. It's just pretty much so to do with a mistake, but it was kind of reflected on maybe like a certain family member or like a certain family matter. So now that is actually going to be really nicely resolved. This is very, very, very important to you, and you are most certainly going to find this rather rewarding. On another hand, what else I really like this month, that there is going to be such an important news. And it's something that you have been waiting for. And also when you get this important news, you just pay attention to the numbers 333 or 33 or even 3333. Any combination of these numbers, my gorgeous Taurinis, please do remember, it's so important indeed. If you see it on your time, if you see it on the telly, if you see it like on the computer, if you see it in the sky, like it doesn't really matter how you're going to come across these numbers, but it's just all about you seeing this at the right moment in time. This number, as soon as you see this number, as soon as you become aware of this number, you need to understand, to pay attention to what was on your mind, because what was on your mind that you were worrying about is going to come into fruition indeed. But then on another hand, you also need to understand another thing, that within the next few days later, when you see that number, you are going to hear a very important news. My lordy lord, this is going to be important to you, my gorgeous Taurinis. This news, it's going to mean to you so much, because it's about you working on some kind of project or working on a very special part of your life that means to you so much. And this, my lord, it's going to be a very important news about your own success. This is going to reflect on your finances, on the things that you were worrying about, but also it's just going to like pretty much so going to become the part of the very heavy obstacle that kind of created a challenge in your life. So now you're just going to basically most certainly going to find yourself on an advantage, and this is going to surprise you, but in the best possible way. And I like it. I like it. Torini, Torini. No, I really like it, because it's all about you finding yourself on a slightly higher level when it comes to your own victory indeed. But that is gonna be pretty much so leading to something else, which is not going to happen in January. February and March 2022 are going to be so important, because it's going to lead to the very, very special and very specific negotiation, very successful negotiation, very powerful negotiation. In fact, when it comes to the actual negotiations, this is most certainly your time. January, February, March, April and May. This stage and this period is a very powerful when it comes to you dealing with any kind of negotiations and things like that. So you're going to be absolutely fine. When it comes to your health and nutrition, my gorgeous Taurinis, it is very important for you to take something like a vitamin B complex every single morning, because it is going to boost your energy. It's just what you're going to find really tremendously helpful. It's gonna help you with a little bit of stress. It's gonna help you with a little bit of worry, and it's also going to be beneficial for your entire digestive system. I mean, B vitamin complex, it's very powerful, but you also need to remember that this B vitamin complex, there is a folic acid ingredient within this B vitamin complex that you should take like the actual version, which is folate. Folate is a natural version of folic acid, and also B12 within this vitamin B complex need to made as a methylcobalamin. Methylcobalamin is the natural version of this particular vitamin. I do not take chemicals, and this is what I highly suggest to you. On another hand, what else you're going to find, and take this every single morning, because it's when you take B vitamins are like quite good actually to take the first thing in the morning, because do you know what? Because it just gives you like a basically energy from the very first thing in the morning, and some vitamins can be quite heavy to take early, but B vitamins are absolutely fine. And also try to cut out sugar completely. Do not even drink juices with sugar. Try to drink juices that are sweetened, like with a grape juice or like other juices, for example, just without sugar. Try to avoid sugar completely. I've cut out sugar a long time ago and I never looked back. Bye, bastard. No, but now basically also try to drink as much as you can like organic dandelion tea, if it can be made of the whole plant and the root as well. And also if you can drink a bit of a chamomile tea. Both of these things, if you drink throughout the month, are going to be very beneficial when it comes to flush out the toxins out of the system. If you're on any other medications, if you're pregnant or if you're breastfeeding, you just need to check with your doctor. You just need to check with your GP. Only your doctor or GP can tell you whether this can interact with your existing medications or not. So now, my gorgeous Taurinis, I'm just going to see what is going to be the first day to pay attention to. But before I go there, I would highly recommend you something like a brand new pendant that I have, and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's called Strawberry Quartz, and it has got a very powerful energy to stimulate flows of happiness. You know, this is such a beneficial crystal to actually have it around this time, you know. And every time when you feel like low, deflated, uncertain, strange, bizarre, weird, spaced out, when you can't talk, when you don't want to talk, you know, when you say the wrong things, you know, every time when you feel like that, we all have those moments in life, you know. But now at the moment, you know, we can just kind of pick up on this energy so much easier because of our own vulnerability and the things that we are constantly being getting told. So this is why this gorgeous strawberry quartz pendant, it's going to help you so much to come out of yourself, to express yourself, to talk, and it's immediately going to boost your energy. I highly recommend this every time when you feel weird and bizarre, but most importantly when you want to do the right things. You know, it helps you so much almost instantly. This gorgeous strawberry quartz pendant comes with a sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this is in the description below. By buying things from my channel, you're also supporting my channel as well. I have to say that. So the 1st and the 2nd of January 2022, these are going to be two big mama dates, you know. It's going to be 1st, 2nd and the 3rd of January. I'll get to the 3rd of January, but first I'm going on the 1st and the 2nd, because the 1st and the 2nd of January, the first day of January, you can just kind of imagine in your mind the whole new door and the whole new portal it's about to open. That in itself, it's going to like kind of like make you realize how much you want to change your life. It's going to kind of confuse you, but in the good way, because that same confusion is going to be quite beneficial, and something it's going to start up. It's something it's going to open your eyes. What to pay attention to when it comes to the next step. So the 1st of January, just pay attention to this. Most certainly you should. The 2nd and 3rd of January, you're already going to start feeling ooh la la, like a bit of like a creativity and very kind of unique energy that is just going to kind of remind you of who you are, remind you of what you believe. It's going to remind you of who you should trust, but it's also most importantly going to remind you to stay on your path. This is going to be your spiritual protection, you know, to just basically stay on your path. Very important indeed. So the 2nd and the 3rd of January, it's this absolutely wonderful confidence that you are going to feel, but it's also about the creativity. This is brilliant because because you are going to be thinking about the specific part of your life that it's at the same time going to highlight your own willpower. This is so important. I really like it because it's all about you not even realizing that you're going to find yourself on the beginning. You're going to be thinking about how you can take the certain part of your life on the next level, and you will know that it's important. What comes to you, it needs to come from you, not from anyone else, because most certainly you are going to start something here in between the 2nd and the 3rd of January, from the 2nd and the 3rd of January until the 18th of January. This time is like a really important time when it comes to you, pretty much so finding yourself being very inspired, and the beginning of something very, very special, the beginning of something very, very special, the beginning of a very meaningful experience here. It's going to take place, which is almost going to feel like an adventurous. But what you're not going to realize at that very moment in time, that you are going to plant an absolutely mind-blowing seed here as well. When it comes to your spirituality, your energy is going to be very strong. So be as optimistic and try to respond yourself in the best possible way, because spiritually I can see a little baby, and when I see spiritually baby, this is one of the most powerful things that can actually happen to people in this life. Baby is miraculous, baby is amazing, baby is wonderful when it happens in life, and it changes people's life, and babies stay there for like a long time, and it has got many different stages. So this is exactly what I'm saying here, what a big impact on your life this is actually going to have, my gorgeous Taurinis, because it's almost like in a spiritual term representing a baby, and that in itself, it's also going to be so adventurous. So up until the 18th of January, it's all about this meaningful experience, but also you realizing exactly what do you need to do when it comes to the part of your life that you felt so unhappy about. This is going to be very rewarding, and it's going to make you feel very, very satisfied. And also on another hand, it's all going to be at around these well-meaning actions that you are going to feel and have about yourself. You will also at the same time going to realize how powerful you are, because from the 2nd and the 3rd of January, this is the time when your psychic abilities are going to be heightened so much. The 1st of January, very interesting, not so much, but from the 2nd and the 3rd of January until the end of that month, they're going to be really amazing psychic abilities that you're actually going to have. They're going to be very heightened indeed. The second important date, and before I go there, I would highly suggest you seraphim it. Absolutely gorgeous new pendant. Look at this baby, it's beautiful, and it's brilliant when it comes to for healing of nerves and brain, but also it just gets rid of the old patterns of negativity. It helps to get rid of the old patterns of negativity, so they just fall away basically, instead of us dragging this along with us, because you have been through so much worries and so much uncertainty, and that in itself just create this confusion, and this confusion is creating negative energy, and negative energy is just really making everything worse, and it's just slows you down. It affects your way of thinking, way of planning. So this is why this is so important to actually have and wear every single time when you just want to promote a little bit of healing in your life, but also at the same time when you're preparing for something really important, when you want to do something significant. I would just wear this for a few days, especially beforehand, because it's just going to help you to get rid of the negative energy, so you feel so much better. This gorgeous pendant comes with sterling silver chain, and the link to buy this in the description below. By buying things from my channel, my gorgeous Taurinis, you're also supporting my channel as well. The 19th of January is the second date. Now this is so important because it's all about the actual very, very powerful day when it comes to you receiving this information, this message, where you're gonna become aware of a very powerful outcome of the past effort. I'm so happy for you, because that at the same time it's going to pretty much help you to see and realize that effort, you need to continue with effort until full success is achieved. So it's to do with the part of your life that you maybe were uncertain what to do, whether it's coming to an end, whether you should continue. So you will know most certainly that this is actually a really good sign, because it's all about your own development, promotion, outcome of the past effort, but it's to do with your own improvement. This this is going to mean to you so much. And also at the same time, you just if there is anybody that comes to you that you're so angry about, you need to let that person go, because karmically the 19th of January, it's also going to be important to release yourself from that somebody. So somebody in the past maybe had done something to you, maybe someone was rude to you, whatever it happened in between you two, you just need to remember that that person is going to bounce back into your life on the 19th in your mind, but it's going to give you the opportunity to just like kind of forgive them. But you're not really you're forgiving them. I know it's so difficult sometimes, but it's just like you're releasing yourself from this burden. You're releasing from this situation, because sometimes you don't realize how much this is actually holding you back. So this is going to be a really good time for that. On another hand, on the 19th of January, you're also going to become aware of the actual, maybe like you're going to become aware of like a little bit of a hidden danger that you weren't aware of before. I know I'm being a little bit of a dark Lala, but this is life. And this is going to be brilliant. So the 19th of January, it's also going to be specifically important when it comes to you being aware of a hidden danger. And this is going to be brilliant because it's going to almost immediately going to give you an idea, but that idea you must not rush with. That idea is just going to need a little bit of refinement, but at the same time, because you're going to overcome obstacle, at the same time, because you're going to overcome a very difficult obstacle, this is kind of going to play an important role when it comes to your own optimism and positivity when you need it the most. You just need to remember to remain objective, but at the same time communicate clearly as much as you possibly can. Very important indeed. The last date that I would like to talk to you about is going to be the 31st of January. Now, I really like this because pretty much there is going to be a little surprise that you are going to have here, but this surprise is going to come from the certain person that knows you, certain maybe like a family member, somebody who means to you so much. They are going to kind of remind you of something, so they are going to be playing an important role when it comes to your own life, because that person knows you so much. Sometimes the people who are meant to be in our lives, they are kind of point us towards the specific aspect of our life that we maybe forgot about. So you're just going to be reminded of something here, but this is important for your own internal growth as well. On another hand, what else you need to understand, that the 31st of January, it's really kind of like a really powerful day. Just remember the last 11 days of January that I was saying, and the 31st of January is just going to bring you an absolutely mind-blowing sign that is just going to come from somewhere else. You will know that this sign is just coming from like a different dimension, from the spirits, from the spirit world, from your guardian angel. This can happen in any way, but you will know that this is your sign, and that sign is going to happen and is going to come to you when you are kind of having a really great enthusiasm and initiative, and then you will be thinking about a specific part of your life that you're going to be rather excited about here, because you're going to feel like rather vavavumish indeed. But then at the same time, that sign that you're going to have, you will see that through that sign, you will become aware of the unlimited possibilities. You will become aware of the so many possibilities that you weren't aware of before. So this is something very, very interesting to pay attention to. On another hand, there is another person that is going to be playing an important role in your life. This is not a family member, now the second one. So the 31st of January is pretty much so very strong when it comes to people in our lives, people who are meant to be in our lives. So it's all about this other person who is going to step in, somebody very consistent in your life, but it's not a family member. So it's someone very consistent in your life, but it's not a family member, who is going to really provide you with a very, very interesting news. And that interesting news is just pretty much so going to be it's going to open your eyes, but it's also going to direct you towards a certain investment. You will know after this moment in time that in what part of your life exactly do you need to invest. But you just also need to remember that you're going to feel like you can fly at this moment in time. Something is going to feel rather rewarding. recording, but at the same time it's something very important when it comes to your own heart, because this, my gorgeous Taurinis, is just literally going to change your life in so many different ways. On one hand, this is going to lead to one of the greatest accomplishment, my Lord, and on another hand, spiritually, emotionally, and my God, like most certainly like financially. So you are going to start here some really amazing progress, but then that is absolutely going to explode when it comes to May and June 2022 as well. So this is when things are going to start, looking up for you rather nicely indeed. Okay. Midnight, know the sound from the pavement. Has the moon lost her memory? She's smiling alone. In the lamplight, the withered leaves collect at my feet, and the wind begins to moan. Memory, all alone in the moonlight, I can dream of the old days. Life was beautiful then. I remember the time I knew what happiness was. My Taurini, I love you. And now, my gorgeous Taurini, I'm just going to see briefly what to pay attention to in the first part of January, mid part of January, and the last part of January. First part of January, you just remember that you're going to have the greatest reminder of your life to never ever underestimate yourself. Never underestimate your abilities. And also, always trust yourself. If something comes to you and you feel very strongly about something, you should trust it. You should pay attention to it. It's important. The mid part of January, it's an absolutely big mama time when it comes to planning for the long term. The more you plan here, the more it's going to come to you that wouldn't normally come, things that wouldn't normally come to you. The last part of January, it's absolutely fantastic when it comes to like a rejuvenating yourself, when it comes to taking care of yourself, when it comes to buying something for yourself, when it comes to you meditating. There is a lot going to come to you. And when it comes to you reconnecting and connecting with the nature, do not forget that we are the nature. We are part of the nature, and nature is very strongly connected to us, and we are very strongly connected to the nature. But very often people forget this. So try to reconnect with the nature. Please, midnight, not a sound of the pain. Yeah, and now, my gorgeous Taurinis, I'm just going to see what is going to happen to those of you in relationship. This is a brilliant month for the actual relationship. One of you are going to have a very, very interesting idea. And you're not going to be able to really forget about this idea. You're not going to be able to really ignore this idea. This idea is going to answer so many questions when it comes to you feeling inactive with the certain parts of your life. So this is something that you should most certainly go for, because it's going to bring you confidence, self-esteem, lots of accomplishment, and most certainly really, really great success to both of you as the couple. So pay attention to that idea. And for those of you, my gorgeous Taurinis, who are single and ready to mingy, you see, it is not going to be the month where you're going to find the love of your life, but what is very interesting here, that this month you are going to learn something so special, so important. You are reaching a very significant stage, very powerful stage of your life, and you're going to get to know yourself in a very kind of highlighted way, and that in itself is going to put you in touch with someone really special. It looks like that people are gonna play very big role in your life, people who mean to you a lot, and also people who you feel connected to, because there is a very important advice that you are going to get from someone which is going to open your eyes, is going to get you thinking, but it's also going to clear a lot of disharmony in your life and lots of emotional confusion. That particular person is going to inspire you, and it's also gonna remind you, somehow you're gonna feel like you are ready to find someone. So maybe you haven't felt ready so far, but this specific person is going to play an important role, because you will know there is something that that person is going to do, and it's going to inspire you so much. So after this moment in time, you are most certainly going to find someone is going to walk into your life. If you're looking to find someone for you, my gorgeous single Taurinis, indeed. But this advice from this person is just really pretty much so going to open your eyes, and it's also kind of going to make you aware what you should do and where you should go and things like that. But it's the right person giving the right advice, so that can change really a lot, and most certainly it will. Okay, my gorgeous Taurinis, thank you ever so much for watching my videos. I love every single one of you, and of course I wish you the happiest new year 2022, and hopefully 2022 is not going to be as horrible as 2021. So you just have to remember to stay on top of things by doing things, only those things that make sense to you. Remember to stay on your own path. Remember that you are the one who needs to hold your candle. I love you so much. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light. So I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you, my gorgeous Taurinis. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.